Good morning, it's just past 10. I'm in the Bacolod. I'm not over that side, there's red ants all over the place. Right, this morning we've come to visit a friend of ours and she bought two chickens, native chickens. Does look a bit dark, but I hope it's okay. Right, so she bought two native chickens and then she asked me if I could kill them. And I said, yeah, no problem. Now, Joveline says, what you do to kill these chickens, it's totally different here in the Philippines. You know, I don't mind killing a chicken, I just chop its head straight off. And that's a good, humane way. It's a good way so the bird doesn't suffer. So, this is where I thought, oh yeah, no problem. Just chop its head straight off. Oh no, she says, what you have to do is bend its neck, cut its throat and bleed it. So we've got some blood. They make things with blood here, you know, like black pudding and things, I should imagine. So I said, well, that's cruel. It's just not a good way to kill a bird or an animal, because it's suffering. But, you know, here in the Philippines, they don't really, you know, suffering, I suppose it's just natural to them. So what I did exactly what she said, and you know, nerves were going for 5 minutes, and I thought, well, this is cruel because this bird is still alive. So it's still alive. So you know, I didn't think it were a good way to kill a chicken. Anyway, so we plucked it. I plucked it, and I said, "Can you kill the other one?" So I got other one. And I said, do you want me to kill this? And I said, it's a little bit cruel. Yeah, but they want the blood. It's a little bit cruel doing that way. But they want the blood. So I just got this chicken and I just went, shoom, chopped its head straight off with knife. Which, you know, you still get a lot of blood. And, you know, I thought that were a lot better way to kill a chicken. And then, you know, we plucked it, cleaned two chickens, chopped its legs off. Don't know what they're going to do with legs. And then Joveline showed me the portion sizes and how to clean inside a chicken. So I did exactly what she said basically. And you know, I chopped it up into chicken portions. But for me, you know, same with a pig, you cut a pig's throat. There's no wonder them pigs, they squeal, they scream. They don't squeal, they actually scream. You can hear them screaming. And that's because they cut the throat. And I don't think it's a good way to kill an animal. You know, just cutting its throat because it's still alive. And it's got quite a way to go, you know, before it dies. And I just didn't think that were a really good way to kill it. Right, I'm actually going to put this in my gimbal, my phone. I'm hand holding and it's quite a feat. So I'll just put it in gimbal, it's a lot easier to angle. Right, so you know, same when they're killing pigs, I'm in my gimbal, I've got my gimbal now. I don't know 8 buttons, there's always something, You know, I won't buy one of these gimbals. If you're going to buy a gimbal, don't buy one of these what I've got now. So that's it. You know, killing pigs here, killing animals here. You know, some people just, you know, they actually came for some pigs. Let me just have a look. Sorry about this. Right, I think that's okay. Right, so they came to our place, and this was last year, to kill a pig. Well, to kill a few pigs. And I videoed it, so it's on YouTube. I've got about 2 or 3. I didn't get the killing. I won't put the killing on. So, you know, these guys have got this pig, about 5 on them, got it into the back of this tricycle. And it was quite a big pig. It was the neighbour's pig. And it was squealing and screaming. And I said, how do you kill it? Do you get a gun and, you know, bang? You know, I thought, well, that's how they'll probably do it here in Philippines. They'll just boof. And it's a quick way, it's a quick death. No, he says, we get an hatchet. And he showed me this hatchet. And it were a steel angle. And it were a steel, you know, your steel hatchet, your blade with a big thick steel angle. And he says, we hit it in the head 3 times. And he were in a bad mood, this guy, because he'd been struggling with this pig. And he were in a lousy mood. He says, we just hit it in the head 3 times. I says, really? He says, yep. And I thought, Christ, you know, poor pig, you know. And I just said, when I was killing these chickens, I killed first chicken and I cut its throat and I cut back at its neck, trying to bleed it. And I thought, this is not good, I don't like this. And you could see that bird suffered. And then I says, I'll chop its head off. Next one, I'll just chop its head off. And I did one slice and it went straight off its head. And that was the best way to do it. And it were only getting chopped up for chicken portions anyway. But they like the blood, like I said earlier on. So I thought, you know, there's no wonder them pigs are squealing because they know what's coming. And it's not a good death really. But that's how it goes. Right, yesterday, bank holiday Monday, no, Sunday, it was Sunday. I think Saturday we went to Bacolod. There's another video in front of this, and it'll probably go on to this video, so if it's a bit of a repeat, I do apologise, but you know, that's how things go. I thought yesterday I'm not going to upload this video, just leave it, and I might just do 1 or 2 videos. So I went to Bacolod for a back tyre. We got there, this was Saturday, only Saturday, and everything was closed. We got there about, what, 9:30, and everything was closed. Yamara was closed. I don't think it opens while 10 o'clock anyway. So everything was closed, and I thought, wow, everything's closed. Riding into Bacolod City, exactly same, not a lot of traffic on the road. So what happened was we went to Gasano Grand. Went in Gasano Grand, and there were a meal on for 99 pesos. So we bought one in Greenwich, and that's all we could afford. So that's what we did. We bought 2 of them for me and Joveline in Greenwich. Do you want chicken with that, sir? I said, no, I would have liked chicken, but we didn't have the budget and I'm not spending a lot. So that's what we did. And then I did a little video, quite a few shorts around Gasanos. I do like Gasanos. And then I went over to the river. And I was trying, you'll see me walking around, I'm trying to catch this big grey heron. And the last time I were actually in Gasanos, saw a mountain oak eagle flying across. And it had a pigeon or a duck, and it were carrying it. And I thought, wow, a mountain oak eagle hunting in Bacolod City. Like I said, the videos are on there somewhere. So, you know, what we did then, we couldn't get a tyre, which were a big disappointment, because we run to Bacolod, and I thought, I hope this tyre don't go flat. So what we did is, from Gasanos, we went back into Bacolod, and we did some Unitop. We did a little bit of shopping in Unitop, and it were a little bit of shopping. Can't remember what we bought. I was looking at walking sticks and looking at things, looking at tools. Didn't buy any tools, no money to buy any tools. And I can't remember what Joveline bought, but you know what a woman's like. They go in a shop and they're about 3 hours just looking, they're looking at stuff and putting stuff down. I thought, God, I hope we are going soon. So we set off back. And this was really crazy. There weren't a lot of traffic on roads. As soon as I got near to Andamanum, so I got near to Andamanum, you know, there's the school and so there's the flyover, the bridge, and you go under there and you take a right and there's the cathedral and it goes down into Andamanum. And this is a really, as soon as we hit Andamanum, every time, cars pulling out, bikes pulling out. So we're going down road, what happens? Whereabouts was this? Yeah, so we're going down road. This guy on a scooter, no helmet. I don't know what he did. He just shot out onto the road. He shot out onto the road and he was juddering about. I thought, God, what's wrong with this guy? And he were in second lane. If a four-wheel driver had been coming, that guy would have been killed. He would have smashed. it would have smashed straight into him, and it would have killed him. And Jolene went, wow, what's he doing? I said, I don't know. And then he's looking at bike, and he's just parked in Miglet Road. I thought, my God, got a little bit further down. And this was just before this guy on the scooter. This is coming out around the Manonwake Cathedral. Well, this guy, this four-wheel drive pulls out. No, it were a car. A car pulled out, and then and you can see I'm coming down road. So I went to this side, and this other car's trying to come out, and I thought, you know, what's wrong with you guys? Can you not see a motorbike's coming down road? You shouldn't really be pulling out on it into the road when you see motorbikes coming. I think 2 got killed this weekend, and there were a car smash. I'll chat about that later. So there were a few killed this weekend here around Mercia, to me knowing. And he's got his girlfriend on back, and he's on like a sports bike, 250, and he's juddering, and he's juddering. And I thought, wow, this guy can't even ride a bike, and he's got his girlfriend on back. And he's just sat in Miglet Road, bang. Oh, wow, you really need to take a test. You really are dangerous, some of you guys. And the most dangerous ones are you guys in four-wheel drives and cars. You just think you've got a licence to pull straight out in front of bikes. Anyway, it gets a bit further down road. Another incident. There's a lorry at back of me, and he's coming fast. And he's coming towards Mercia, towards the big cock arena, fighting cockerel arena on the right-hand side. So I thought, right, let me pull over. There's a big lorry. I don't want to be at back of this. I don't want this lorry coming up back of me at that speed. So I pulled over, looked over this shoulder, pulled over, indicated, and then he come along nicely, and he passed me, this lorry, and he just passed me at speed, whatever speed he were doing, and he probably in a bit of a hurry, but he was driving very, very safely, the lorry. So I'm in this lane now. There's 2 lanes. I'm in this right-hand lane now, and I want to get back over, but there's traffic speeding up. And what happens? Big black Hilux just pulls out straight in as I'm coming down, pulls straight out, and Joel went, ah, and I hit brakes, geared down, hit brakes, and he just like looked at me and I went, beep, and he just like, he didn't really give a toss. And then I went to this side, and this guy at the back on a motorbike, he's not letting me through. He's pulling out, and I think, well, you idiot. So I had to let him go, and then another one comes, so I just went in, back on, and I went on my way. I thought, wow, Bacolod City never changes. And one of the most dangerous places is when you hit Andamanum. You know, they just seem to pull out. When you hit that city of Bacolod on a motorbike, as soon as you start to go out of the city to Mercia, really bad. So a fat boy, big guy, American, saw 2 Americans. I said hi. Well, I do apologise, could have been an English guy. He didn't really say anything to me. I said hello, didn't say hello. I thought, okay, have a great morning. And then I saw a big guy, he looked. As soon as he saw me, he looked. And I don't know if I actually seen this guy before, and a big fat boy. He looked like a big Harley, big engine, really nice bike, big fat boy, tyres. Didn't get it on video, I weren't videoing. So, you know, I actually dread going into Bacolod City crazy on a motorbike. So that's it, guys, that's what happened. And then we come into Mercia. When we got to Mercia, we went into the market, bought a bit of rice, and Jovelyn bought 1 or 2 things, and then we set back off home. And I thought, I hope my tyre's going to hold up, because we've just run all the way around Bacolod City. And pulls over, comes down to our lane, gets in our lane, and I'm turning right to go into Provence, you know, to go onto Country Road. As soon as I turned onto Country Road, fault it. I said, we've got a puncture. and I'd got a mile to ride bikes. I just rode it with a mile, and I thought, Christ almighty, got another puncture, and what a pain in the arse. You know, I know tyres are knackered, so tyres had it. And if we'd have got a tyre in Bacolod City, I could have had tyre put on. We'd probably been okay. It's okay to run on road, but it's no good. You know, you hit sharp rocks on Province Road. As soon as I turned in, that were it. Tyre were flat. So, day after, Sunday, we went and had it vulcanised. About 6 o'clock at night, I had it vulcanised. Charged us 100 pesos. And that were in our place just across the road. On Concilian Road going to Mercia. There's a big tyre and it says vulcanising. So we had it vulcanised and it were okay. Tyre's still okay. And now it's Monday, I'm hoping things, I don't know whether to go back into Bacolod City. And, you know, hopefully I can go and buy a tyre. And Jovelyn went to this shop. I said, ask this guy here how much tyres are. He says, have you got a tyre? Oh, it's a rare tyre, miss, you have to go to Bacolod. We do sell them, but we've run out. And Jovelyn said, how much are they? 1,800. I thought, that's not right. You know, is it 500 foreigner price, or is it just 500 because he wants to make 500 pesos on a tyre? And I looked on Yamaha website, Bacolod, a couple of months ago, and it was 1 free. I'm sure it was 1 free for a back tyre for that Yamaha. So hopefully we can get a back tyre on today or tomorrow. Right, I'm running about, what? I'm running, I can't see, 13 minutes I think. So that's what we did. We didn't go anywhere in Holy Week. We stopped in. Crazy, crazy hot now, guys. Really, really hot here in the Philippines. It's quite nice, but the last 2-3 days, Jesus, humidity, is sweating. Be careful if you come into the Philippines. Do not come to the Philippines in the summer. You know, we ain't got air conditioning, we've got a fan. And how do we find it? Just crazy hot. You know, it saps your energy. So it's crazy hot. So that's what the chickens. My way of killing a chicken is the best way. Just chop its head straight off. You know, just cutting into it and bleeding it. It's a bit cruel, I think. But that's how they do things. Make a comment how to kill a chicken. But like I said, Jovelyn shot, you know, I chopped it up into portions, chopped all the way, you know, down joints. So I chopped across the joints, and Jovelyn showed me the portion sizes. So I'm covered in blood. I don't think you'll see it anyway, but I'm covered in blood. But it's just blood. It's not a big problem. So that's it. That's what we've been doing today. Killing chickens. Did I know I was going to chop some chickens up today? No, like I said, you never know what's round the corner. Right, I ain't got a lot of storage, but I'll chat about a topic. I've got another topic. You know, I'll try and add it into a different video. Right, I'm going to try and add it now actually, because I think we should have enough storage, hopefully. We've got no music. Just comments, you know, a quick comments. You know, guys, do you actually think all Filipino women, I'd like some comments on this. Do you actually think all Filipino women are bad women and the scammers? And what about English girls, American girls? Now, that's why I have actually chatted to you guys before and said, don't come to the Philippines 1 week, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months and get married. Don't do that. Use your loaf. Okay, yeah, you can do that. You can live happily ever after till you actually pass away. You know, you can have a good life. You can meet somebody one day, marry her the next, and you can have a good life, but you've got my point. You know, so I actually read some of the comments, so I was actually reading some of my comments, and there were a few, you know, that's had it, pal, you know, in other words, mate, You know, that woman of yours, she's not going to sell that house. Once you go into immigration prison, that's it, you've had it, pal. You know, your woman's not going to sell that house, and she'll be off with money and your motorbike. You really make me laugh, some of you guys. I'd like to know if you're married and divorced, or you've had a bad relationship with women before. Listen, I know there's a lot of bad women, okay. I know there is a lot of bad women, and I know there's a lot of good ones, okay. So I just wondered, did you have some type of bad relationship? Did your ex-woman, girlfriend, wife, did she take you for everything you've got? Well, you know, I'm sure you can recover, but, you know, can you recover? Depends on your age. You know, have you still got 10, 15 years to work? But I just wondered, you know, so a few of these comments, if they're really nasty, I do delete. Okay, there's no way I'm leaving below belt comments on. You know, if they're a really nasty, just a crappy guy comment. You know, I do have to take them off because a lot of people don't like to see it. I mean, me, I'm thick-skinned, I don't really care a bugger. But, you know, do some of you guys think all women, right guys, you meet a girl and you live with her for X amount of years. Now, do you think if you married that girl, she would actually, you know, you split up, or you went to prison, do you actually think she'd take you for everything? Or do you think some women would actually stand by you? I'll tell you a true story now. This is a friend of mine, they call him Mad Harry. Like I said, I've been about. They call him Mad Harry, and he's a mad guy. Right, he's a mad guy. And last I heard about him, he was running around the village with a knife, and he was stabbing people, okay. He had a bit of trouble, and his business, somebody, you know, somebody said something or did something wrong. And I know I'm going into something else now. And he was stabbing people up. You know, don't mess with the wrong people. So, Mad Harry is from, I'll just give you a rough idea. Around Liverpool, Newcastle, a little bit further in. Forgot name at place where he's from.